This beautiful hunk of crap is my BMW E30. And underneath the hood is something that you would not expect. I'm just gonna take the hood off, actually. Oh, everything's fine. This is a Volkswagen 07k 5-cylinder engine. I ripped out an M50 for this. I know it sounds crazy, but it's way better and so much cooler in every single way possible. But that was for people who are new here. If you're not new here, let's kind of go over everything that we've done to this car in the past week, because I've done a really bad job at filming. It was my birthday, we did a bunch of stuff, I went out of town, and then I've been sick. If you can't tell, I'm just now starting to feel better. So I did a lot of work off camera. I wanted to give you guys like a little update on what's been going on. So now if you haven't seen it, go watch the last video, but we took the 07k that was in my silver E30, and we basically just took the whole drivetrain setup and we plopped it into my M50 swapped E30. Well, it was M50 swap, but then I took the M50 out because I wanted to put a Volkswagen 1.8T in, which is sitting right there. Dude, it's been, there's been a lot of changes going on. I know it's kind of hard to keep up with, but I have a plan, so we just gotta have to trust that plan, okay? But the main reason why I took the drivetrain out of the silver car and put it into the black car is I just ran into a bunch of little issues with the silver car. Like the door bars being too narrow, not allowing the seat to fit, the steering column being extended, so I have to get a new steering column, and then the rear subframe is maybe tweaked, maybe the diff mounts are tweaked, maybe it just needs new bushings, don't know. It just really made me mad and absolutely killed my motivation with this car, so I wanted to put the drivetrain into the black car because I know it's a working drift car. I took a perfectly running and driving drift car and I tore everything apart, so that's the smartest thing to do. Anyway, now that we're all up to speed, in the last video you saw me put this engine in the car with this BMW ZF transmission hooked up, and we got the wiring harness all hooked up and connected. Off camera, I went through and took off all of like the plastic components on the harness and like the corrugated pipe or whatever that the OEM harness has on it, and I just did some Tessa tape on it. Looks good, looks better, looks a little bit more clean. I gotta go back through and get all this overspray off. I'm hoping just brake cleaner takes it off and doesn't destroy the plastic, but I guess we'll figure it out. Now this car had a bunch of Chase Bay's stuff. Like as you can see, I have a Chase Bay's power steering reservoir, and I stole the Chase Bay's brake booster eliminator, so this is just manual brakes. So I took the brake booster out of this car, put the Chase Bay's one in, and then this line goes down to the clutch master cylinder. It's got a brand new clutch master cylinder, which was horrible trying to put in there because it's just not in a great spot. If you can see it right there, it was a pain in the butt to get to, but the clutch, you know, it works. Brakes, they work. They're nice and bled. And people were like, oh, no way you're gonna have manual brakes. It's a full-blown drift car. It's not a street car, so I'm not really worried about it. If it was a street car, I'd say, yeah, you should probably have vacuum-assisted brakes, but it being a drift car, full race car, they should be fine, right? The other thing too, it has all brand new brake lines, all in the engine bay, so these go to the calipers in the front. And then on the roof of the silver car actually is the rest of the brake line kit that I just haven't done yet. It basically gets rid of all the hard lines that are on the car and replaces them with Chase Bay soft lines. They're old, they're crusty, they're rusty, so I figured I would replace them. What else have I done? I've done a lot off camera. On the interior side of things, I integrated the VW harness into the E30. I literally just found a switch 12-volt power for the key on the E30. So if I come back here and hook up the battery and turn on the key, boom. I'll try to hit the crank. I think the battery's dead, but battery's dead, but you get the point. It cranks off of the key, which is really nice. It's freaking sweet. I know it looks like absolute spaghetti over here, but I have to go through and kind of extend some stuff and make everything happy and put it in a home. But we have a kill switch for the ECU, so if anything goes awry, I can just shut power off to the ECU, which should shut power off to the car. It turns off with the key, and we have the pedal. The pedal is what I'm gonna have to extend, so this harness lead isn't long enough to get all the way over there. So I'm gonna have to extend this harness, this like connector a little bit. No biggie. But yeah, I need to go through and clean up all this mess and then find a home for the ECU, which I'll probably just put it into the stock existing location, and then just clean up all of this wiring mess, which I just haven't got to yet because I'm kind of putting it off because I hate doing wiring. And fun fact, it does run. Now we knew the engine already ran, but I had it in the silver car, so having it run in this car is really cool. We wanted to make sure that I had everything wired up correctly. I'm not gonna start it up right now because it is like 8 in the morning and my neighbors at the shop have tiny children and they're probably still sleeping, so I'm not gonna wake them up. It's open header and it's loud. I will put in the clips to show you and prove it. It is very, very loud, but oh my gosh, dude, it's fucking gnarly. Like, it's insane. The camera doesn't do it justice, but oh my gosh, dude. So yeah, there's a reason why I won't be starting it at 8 in the morning, so hope you understand. But it runs inside the black E30, which is awesome. I have the harness all integrated and it shuts off with the key. Throttle pedal works, so sick. As you saw in the clips, the starter was sparking. Slightly concerning, but I think we figured out why. You can see down there, it was shooting sparks from out of here. I think the starter just needs shimmed backwards, maybe like a couple inches, not a couple inches, maybe like a couple millimeters. By shimming it, all I'm gonna do is just add some washers to the bolts where it mounts up, like in here. So like it'll mount up and I'll just move it backwards a little bit. That way the ring gear and the starter gear don't meet anymore. Or maybe I'll just let it self-clearance and it'll figure itself out, who knows? But sparks are not a good thing and you don't want that. The other bad news is we found out the clutch doesn't work. Now I bled the whole system, I bled the brakes, and I was trying to get the clutch to work, and unfortunately it doesn't. I lost it, but basically the slave cylinder rod on like the slave cylinder that pushes on the clutch fork, that was too short, so it was engaging with the clutch fork, but it wasn't pushing it far enough to get the throw-up bearing to engage on the pressure plate to be able to push it down and release the clutch. So I needed to extend it a little bit, but instead of doing some jerry-rigging and welding, I decided to order a freaking like adjustable one. So then that way it's like, it has like a nut on it and then I can adjust the length. If that doesn't work, then I will do the jerry-rigging and then do like welding a bolt to it. Still waiting for that to show up in the mail. I ordered it on Monday and it still hasn't shipped. So that's slightly frustrating. The other thing, we took out the stock E30 drive shaft and we got a new drive shaft. We got this from HDT Automotive or something like that. I don't know, he was local and he hit me up. He's like, yo, I can make a drive shaft. So I was like, cool. So I measured all up. Still don't know if I measured correctly, but hopefully I did. But I figured I wouldn't try to put the drive shaft on until I get the clutch working, because then the drive shaft would be in the way of me trying to get to the slave cylinder. And that just kind of sounded like a pain in the butt. There's not a lot of room down there. So that's basically everything with this car. I did a lot of work off camera. It's one of those things where sometimes I know it's my job to film, but at the same time, sometimes I like to hyper focus and just like, I need to do this and not worry about the camera. I cannot wait until I can afford to pay a cameraman. We also did get a Mishimoto rad, and this billet like rad mount thingy from Garagistic, and then this rad is from ECS Tuning. Shout out ECS Tuning. I haven't even started to even plan out how I'm gonna do all the cooling lines, because that's not gonna be fun. Not really stoked to do that, but that's really it with this car. Now let's talk about the silver car and the plans with the 1.8T swap, because I don't know. Now this is gonna be a lot of yapping, but please stick with me because I need your help. I don't know what to do. And sometimes sometimes opinions from random strangers on the internet is good. Sometimes you have good opinions. Sometimes you guys have really bad opinions, I'll be honest. Anyway, this was supposed to be like my pro drift car build. Not that I'm anywhere near being a pro or anything like that, but I just kind of wanted to do like a really nice, well done drift car build with like a cage and all that fun stuff. I really want to focus on the black car. I really want to focus on the 07k swap and getting it as dialed as I possibly can. So this car is probably just gonna sit here for a while and collect dust. Or I could always sell it. Maybe somebody would want it. Maybe somebody would take on the burden of owning this vehicle. Apparently I can't just do anything I ever tell you guys that I'm gonna do, and I always just change my mind. So that's annoying and I'm sorry. I still want to do something with the 1.8T because it's sitting on the engine stand currently staring at me, and I want to put it in something. I could use this car as like a template to make the mounts for the 1.8T, not really sure. If I did get rid of this car, I definitely think I would rather do a pro drift build on an E36, because E36 is a good chassis. It's a lot better. It's more competitive than an E30, but it would be an 07k turbo swapped E36 pro drift car. Like that would be the whole thing, you know, turbo, ZF transmission, tube front, tube rear, cage. That's the goal. I don't have the money to do that right now, unless like I get like a company that title sponsors me and gives me like a lot of money. That's not gonna happen. Just being transparent. And also, if you guys hadn't seen it, ECS Tuning bought me a whole ass car. Let that sink in. Let the sink in the door. Like what? That is so insane, dude. I definitely don't deserve that. I haven't shared the information on what the car is or anything like that because I want it to be a surprise. So I'll be going to pick up the car like first week of December, second week of December. Really exciting. You guys are gonna be so freaking stoked because, yeah, actually, I'm not gonna tell you guys anything about the project because I want it to be a full-blown secret. So hope that makes sense why the silver car is going to go on the back burner. Now, once I get everything for the black E30 and it shows up, we'll get the slave cylinder put back in. Hopefully that fixes the issue. Then we'll get the drive shaft put on. And then it's really just, time to see if this thing moves. We know it runs. So there's your 07k E30 update. Once I'm not sick, I'll get back to work on filming and doing all the wrenching. So sorry if this video was boring because there was absolutely no wrenching in this video. I know some people don't like yapping videos. Sometimes it's gotta happen. Sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. But yeah, I think that's it. I told you guys everything about the E30s. Like, subscribe, do the things if you wanna see more of freaking just crazy stuff that I'm trying to do. That'd be cool. Oh, and we hit 16K. That's cool. Thank you guys. All right, have a fantastic day. Go do something cool. Go do some sick shit and have a fantastic day. I love you guys. Goodbye.